Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your UGC NET Paper 1 educator. In this new YouTube video, we will be moving forward with certain more concepts which are related with the ICT unit, that is Information and Communication Technology, right? So as you know, we have this 30-day program named the last lap for you all to crack your UGC NET 2023 examination. Right? So the features of this program is that we are going to use certain PYQs or previous year questions, and through the usage of those PYQs, we are going to delve deep into learning and even revising certain concepts which are really very important from the examination perspective. Right? So if you want to nail your UGC NET examination, you are supposed to even revise what you have learned. So through these courses, through this very lecture, this very YouTube video, we will be dealing with certain questions which are related to ICT. The first question that I have for you today is, which among the following is a MOOC platform? You all can pause your videos to answer this very question. We for sure will be discussing in the upcoming slide. The answer to this question is option A, that is Coursera, and I hope that all of you must have come across such a platform, right? What is MOOC? MOOC is Massive Open Online Course, right? So the full form you all should be knowing what is MOOC. So basically MOOCs are the courses which are available to all people without any, fees. Correct? Model for delivering learning content online to any person who wants to take a course with no limit on attendance. So no attendance is there, no fees charged for these kind of courses which are there. Hence they are free. So you can, if you are making notes, jotting down certain pointers while watching this video, you can just write down the pinpoint the features. So for instance, if you are writing on MOOCs, first of all, write the full form. Then write that it's a free online course, correct? Which means that it is available to anyone and everyone who wants to study. Hence, it's free as well. Correct? Provide an affordable and flexible way to learn new skills, advance your career and deliver quality educational experiences at a particular scale. So for instance, there are certain courses which are related to soft skills. There are certain courses which are related to MS Excel. And these two things, if I talk about the corporate field, these two things are really important when a person gets, a job in such a corporate field. So basically, you need to learn Excel. Correct? So certain courses are available through these very platforms which are known as MOOCs, correct? And from the examination point of view, mind you, MOOCs are really important when it even comes to higher learning, when it comes to teaching aptitude, right? When it even comes to the educational part of ICT, correct? The learning content of a MOOC is created by an educational institution. Universities such as Harvard, Stanford, Berkeley, or even in India, we have certain, institutions who make the MOOC content. For instance, we have NPTEL, we have IGNOU, etc. Correct? Examples from Europe include the universities of London, Oxford, Munich, and Zurich. Also, for instance, if we move forward with the slides, the operation of a MOOC is coordinated by globally active MOOC platforms. For instance, Coursera and edX. So edX is also a platform which is a MOOC platform, correct? The other options which were given in the question were, let's see, Google Meet, Jitsi Meet and Urkund. What are those three? First of all, Google Meet, you all must be knowing because this is a video call platform, a video meeting platform I must say, correct? Video communication service provided by Google. So in the times when COVID was hitting, right, the pandemic was there, people were using applications such as Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, which was there for the students to get connected with the teachers for the higher education purposes. These applications are used by different other fields as well, right? Supports real-time meetings using a browser. One can share video, desktop and presentations with teammates and customers if it is used in the marketing field. So basically Google Meet, you can, normally have a video call with someone, a meeting is arranged through the video conferencing part. Then comes Jitsi Meet. Free an open source video chat tool. It is easy to use and requires little to no onboarding, which means it does not require much or more practice when it comes to you using UGC NET. It's also encrypted and does not sell data. So as we have a WhatsApp, right, now third party encryption is there, which means the data which is shared between the two users with one another is not seen by a third party. Correct? It does not need any account and one does not need to download anything to start or join a meeting. So that's why it is different from Google Meet. For Google Meet, you either need your application, right? You need to have a Google account as well. But in UGC Meet, you cannot even have an account and still you can have or video chat with someone. Then we have Urkund, completely automated system against plagiarism. So basically, it is an anti-plagiarism software. Correct? Just like we have e-Shodhi, right, which is used for the plagiarism detection, right, in the Indian context if we are talking about, Urkund is a platform which is anti-plagiarism software successfully used at universities and colleges all around the world. Correct? So these were the other three options that we were supposed to deal with when it came to the question which was related to the MOOC. Correct? Next question that we have here is, a network interface card contains what? Pause your screens, students. The answer to this question is C, option C, that is MAC address. Correct? First of all, whenever you are using the abbreviations, wherever you are seeing the abbreviations, try to jot the abbreviations somewhere down on a paper. Correct? Because those are going to be asked, those can be asked in the questions paper as well. Right? So coming to NIC, that is network interface card, contains a MAC address. It is a device that is connected to each workstation, that is your computer, and the server, and it assists the workstation in establishing the crucial network connection. Right? So if we have an IP address is the local address of a computer, but if we talk about the MAC address is the physical address of a particular computer. Correct? The node address is a unique integer that identifies each network interface unit that is attached to a workstation. And if we are using workstation here, it means the computer system, correct? The terminal access point is another name for NIU, that is network interface unit. The interface is known by several names depending on the manufacturer. So one can call an NIC, right? NIU, I must say, TAP as well, that is terminal access point. Correct? The NIC is another name for network interface unit. So we have two names. NIC is also known as NUI and TAP, terminal access point. Correct? Each NIC card, that is network interface card, is given a unique physical address. So as I told you, MAC address is something which is physical address. An IP address, physical address of the device where it is currently, right? That is the MAC address. And MAC address is given to you when you buy a particular computer, buy a particular device, and that is given by the manufacturer. Correct? Which is known as the media access control address. So now you know the full form of MAC as well. Media access control. A MAC address, this thing is really important. 6-byte address in which each byte is separated by a colon. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are 6 bytes which are there and they are divided by the usage of a colon. Correct? So this is what we have in the MAC address type. If I ask you a question which is related to the IP address, comment down below and let me know how is IP address and in how many parts an IP address is divided and using what symbol. For instance, here we have the colon symbol. Is the IP address divided by semicolon? Is it divided by a comma or is it divided by a period or a full stop? So that is a question for you all. And in how many parts an IP address is divided? This is divided in 6 bytes. How many parts is an IP address divided in and how is it separated? That is a question for you. Next question that I have for you is a bit lengthier but an easy question per se. Identify the correct sequence to join a Google Meet session. So you all must have joined a Google Meet session at some point of time in your life, even if it was for a class, even if it was for a meeting, etc. Right? So you have to see what is the correct sequence. The answer to this question is option C, that is D, C, A, B, and then we have E. Correct? So first of all, if you want to join a Google Meet session, you will have to visit meet.google.com, right? Or even if the provider, whosoever is asking you for a meeting, gives you a link, that link does contain this very URL, that is meet.google.com. So first of all, you have to visit there. Then you have to click use a meeting code. If the provider with whom you are having a meeting, if he or she has given you a particular meeting code, you are supposed to enter that very meeting code, or if the link is directly provided to you, you can click on the link and you will be redirected directly to join the meeting. Correct? Third step, enter code and click continue. Click ask to join. So of course, whatsoever Google account you have logged in your phone, in your laptop, from where you are joining the Google Meet, that that very email address will be shown to the person who is inviting you to a meeting. Correct? So click ask to join, and then when someone in the meeting gives you access, you will join it. So when you click on ask for joining, then you will be given the access when the person who is the arranger of the meeting, he or she will be the one who has accepted your request for the joining part. Correct? Google Meet is designed to allow individuals to join a virtual meeting, hence it is known as Google Meet for the meeting purposes. Correct? From any location with an internet connection. So an internet connection is a must if one wants to join a Google Meet. It's designed for businesses and other organizations to utilize. For instance, as I told you, certain educational institutions also use Google Meet. Organizer can share whatever is on their screen. There is an option of screen sharing. So this can be a question which can be asked in the NET examination, right? That a person who is on the Google Meet organizer, can they share their screens? Yes, they can share their screens with everyone on the call. So their desktop or the window that they want to share, that will appear on the screen. User can switch off their own audio and video feed at any time. So if you are the one who has joined the video, meeting which is going to happen, you can turn off your mics, you can turn off your, videos or cameras, and you can turn them on as well, allowing them to participate in their own way. Correct? And this meeting is a real-time meeting. Steps to join, we have already discussed. First of all, you'll have to go to google.com/meet or meet.google.com, right? Or open the application. Then click start new meeting if you are the organizer, or if you have a meeting code, you are going to enter the code which is it. Select the Google account that you would like to use. Certain people have different accounts on their phones, on their laptops. So you are supposed to click the one which you want to join with, right? Select the option to join the meeting. You'll also be able to invite others to your meeting if there is a meeting link or meeting code provided. So you can send that code to your friends and they can also join if the organizers allow them to. Correct? Then we are supposed to match list 1, which are the devices, with list 2, which are the examples. So pause your videos here. The answer to this question is option B. What do we have in B? A 3, B 1, C 4 and D 2. So let us just see first of all here only, then we will move on to the explanation. Obviously, input devices are used when one wants to input the data into the computer. So you are putting the data inside the computer, hence those are known as input devices, and you are using a device, right? That's why they are known as input devices. So through the joystick, right, you all must have seen joysticks in your life. A joystick is also a pointing device. So some of you, if you would have used a PlayStation or something like that, you would have seen the controllers which are there. So in the previous times, you can also, first of all, you can, after the video, after the class, you can Google what a joystick is and you will be able to understand that how it is a device which has a pointing pointing head there, right? And it is used to move the cursor position at a monitor, on a monitor screen. So basically, a joystick is somewhat like a mouse which is there, but it is more flexible in nature and it is also used for the same purpose as a mouse is. It is a stick having a spherical ball at both the lower and the upper ends. The lower spherical ball moves in a socket. The joystick can be moved in all the 4 directions. So this will be the base of our joystick. This will be the stick which is there, and you can move it in all the 4 directions, and hence the cursor will be moved according to the movement of the stick which is there. Then we have the radio frequency identification readers. These are a device that collects data from RFID tags. So direct data is gotten from the RFID tags, that is radio frequency identification readers. So first of all, let me just give you one example so that it could be clear to you all. If you would have ever gone to a mall and you would have visited a fun city part, right? Sometimes they provide you with a particular card for playing all the games which are there. You are supposed to recharge that very card and you are supposed to tap it on the screen or the game that you want to play. Same is the case with the mall, buffet system or whatever, the, eating area which is there. They provide you with a card which is recharged by them, and that card is provided them to the shopkeeper. So there, the cash transaction is not happening, but it is happening through the tag, through the radio frequency identification readers which are there, correct? And the money is deducted from those very cards. Same is the case with the gaming purpose as well. Used to track particular things. So if you are going for bowling, for instance, and you are at a gaming center and you have used bowling, right, and the cost of bowling is 200, and there will be a machine near the bowling counter where you will tap the card, right, and select that you want to bowl, correct? Speakers, an output device they are, allows data to be transmitted by the computer in a human-friendly form. For example, the sound being played through a speaker. It converts digital signals into audible sound waves. So basically, sometimes we have Bluetooth speakers, we have wired speakers, wireless speakers. What are those doing? We are connecting them to particular devices to listen to different kinds of songs which are there, correct? DVDs. Multiple times the full form of this thing has been asked. So it stands for digital versatile disk, is a type of optical disk used for data storage. So secondary data storage, right, is done using the DVDs, CDs, etc. A DVD drive, like a CD drive, employs a laser to read digitized or binary data encoded on the disk, right? So basically DVD you all must have seen. That thing is used to store certain kind of data which is there. We in the previous times would get movies on the DVDs and used to use DVD players to play those movies because the data was stored on that very disk, correct? The next question is again match the following, the digital initiatives with their objectives. The answer to this question that we have is, first of all, pause your screens and see what do we have here as the answer. The answer to this question is option C, that is A3, B1, right, C4 and D2, C4 and D2, correct? So first of all, let's just see E-Vidwan, Expert Database and National Research Network. eCulp is digital learning environment for designing something. E-Yantra, spread education in embedded system and robotics, and E-Shodh Sindhu is used for subscription based scholarly information or e-resources which are there. Let's just read what we have here. So as the name suggests, it is talking about Vidwan. Who's a Vidwan? A Vidwan is someone who's an expert in something. And if we look out at the options, here it says Expert Database and National Research Network, correct? Exclusively built for researchers, professionals, educational institutions and policy makers. The portal includes a database that will aid in the dissemination of information or the research papers which are there from specialists to peers, collaborators, funding agencies, policy makers and research scholars around the country. So basically experts, data of the experts will be provided. The journals, the articles, etc. of the people who are experts in a particular field will be provided to people who want to know much more about that subject. The InflibNet is the one which developed this and maintains this database with funding from the NME ICT. So NME ICT funds this very program and it is done using the InflibNet platform that is here. Then we have eCulp. Culp is what? To create something, the design of something, right? Hence, eCulp is a platform for designing purposes. Part of NME ICT that provides a creative digital learning environment for design. So basically, if you are jotting these pointers, these schemes down, students, you are supposed to jot the only keywords which are there so that you know that this is the last minute time that I am supposed to revise it and I can revise it in one go. So eCulp, as the name also suggests, Culp like Shilpkar, etc. It is run and maintained by 3 institutions, IIT Bombay, Bangalore IIT and IIT Guwahati. So 3 IITs are there, Guwahati, Bombay and Bangalore. They are the ones who are the who maintain this very program, correct? Then we have e-Yantra. This has been a question which has been asked in the NET examination, that what government scheme is the one which deals with the robotics. It is e-Yantra, correct? Outreach project run by IIT Bombay, part of NME ICT, funded by MOE, that is Ministry of Education, correct, which was previously known as MHRD. The purpose of e-Yantra is to use technology to enhance existing higher education institutions and solve local problems, and that too if we talk about the robotics and the embedded softwares, correct, there where we have embedded systems. So if we talk about the e-Yantra part, right, if we talk about a normal refrigerator, how are the ice cubes formed? There would be a particular coding for the temperature which is supposed to be set there for the ice cubes to be frozen. Those things are embedded in the software. That coding is embedded in the refrigerator, correct? So that is also what we talk about if we talk about e-Yantra. Then we have eShodh Sindhu. 3 consortia initiatives, we have combined them. UGC InfoNet Digital Library, correct, this is 1. Then we have NList, this is 2. And then we have Indest AI CTE, that is number 3. 3 consortia are merged together under this very platform. Current and archival access to more than 10 core and peer-reviewed journals. So if you talk about anything which is related to research, if we talk about eShodh Sindhu, multiple journals, e-books, articles, etc. are the ones which can be found on this very platform named eShodh Sindhu, which obviously comes under NME ICT, and 3 consortia are there which are there, correct? UGC InfoNet Digital Library Consortium, NList and Indest AI CTE. Then we have a statement based question here. Statement 1 says, a blended course is a traditional course of instruction incorporated with online materials and or intermittent online discussion. Statement 2 says, a wiki is not a representation of a collaborative tool and website where users assigned in groups can create content collaboratively and where a teacher can monitor their work. So read these 2 statements carefully and answer which one of them is correct. The answer to this question is option C, that is statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. Why? Statement 1 says a blended course is a traditional course of instruction incorporated with online materials and intermittent online discussions. That is short term, sometime happening, sometime it doesn't even happen, correct? The Oxford Dictionary defines blended learning as a style of education in which students learn via electronic and online media as well as traditional methods. Correct? So yes, in the blending course, in the blended course, traditional course of instruction is also there, plus online materials, that is traditional plus online material or education is delivered through a blended course, hence it is known as a blended course. Correct? This method of learning, which combines classroom and online education, is not only going places, which means, this is a idiom which is used here, not only going places, which means it is doing best and better, we can say, but it is assisting in the emergence of new references about learning. So if we talk about ICT, we have blended learning as a type of education which is there, which is an amalgamation or a mixture of online methods and traditional classroom teaching. One of those inferences is that not only does online education supplement learning, but it can also transform and improve the learning process, right? Because students can also learn through visual methods which are there. It has the potential to transform a largely transmissive mode of learning into a largely interactive one, because we have seen that in a traditional method, students usually participate in a lesser, they are less interactive basically. They are passive learners. But if we talk about the online platforms as well, through the usage of the online platforms, students can actively participate and can interact with the teachers, hence the sections can be interactive. Correct? Then we have statement 2, which said that Wiki is not a representation of a collaborative tool. It is, that's why it is a wrong statement, because it is a collaborative tool, correct? Web-based tool on which users usually collaborate, add, delete, modify content directly from the web browser. So if you would have seen Wikipedia, you could know that it is not that authentic a website for the fact that anyone from anywhere can edit, modify, alter the data which is there. Correct? The most famous wiki is Wikipedia. They are web pages that encourage user collaboration, allowing them to create, edit, delete and publish information. And hence, if anyone can be publishing information on the Wikipedia, that it means that it is not much authentic in nature. Correct? Which means that the data whichsoever is there on the Wikipedia cannot be trusted entirely. For this reason, they are useful for a number of synergistic education activities, including study guide creation and collaborating on a group presentation or assignments. Hence, statement 1 is correct, which meant blending learning. Learning is there for the traditional and online part. And statement 2, which said that Wiki is not a collaborative tool, it is incorrect because it is a collaborative tool. Then we have statement based question again. A copy of the email is sent to a CC address and other recipients can see that address. Statement 2 says a copy of the email is sent to a BCC address, but other recipients cannot see that address. Try to figure out what would be the answer to this question. The answer to this question is option A, that is both the statements are correct. So let us just see first of all. Statement 1 says a copy of the email is sent to a CC, which means that other participants will be able to see it. If we talk about the email format, what do we have? How do we write an email? In an email, we have different fields. For instance, we have to, we have CC, we have BCC, correct? And then we have the subject field. And here we have the body or the content that we are supposed to write, and then here is the warm wishes, etc. Correct? So in the CC part, let's just see. First of all, if you are sending a mail to someone 1234@gmail.com and you want the same copy to be sent to some other person, right? That person will be put under in the CC part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the email for some other person. Mind you, here I have written 1, 2, 3, 4. So it means that this email is different and this email is different. correct? So a person whosoever is seeing this very email will see that the same copy has been sent to a person in the CC field, correct? But if you put someone in the BCC part, let's just remove the CC from here. If someone is put in the BCC part, let's just say shweta.12@gmail.com. This is just for the explanation or the example part that I have taken this, email here. So see here, students, that person, that 1, 2, 3, 4 person won't be knowing that this same mail has been sent to a person, sent to an email named shweta.12, correct? So that's why it is known as blind carbon copy, because the other people who are even in the CC or the to field, they won't be knowing that the same copy has been sent to the other person. So first is correct, can see that address if we talk about the CC part. But if we talk about the BCC part, blind carbon copy is there, the other participants won't be able to see it. Allows you to hide recipients in email messages, correct? So basically both the statements are true. Then again, we have one statement based question where statement 1 says, operating system is a set of programs necessary to carry out operations for a specific application. Statement 2 on the other hand says, hardware represents the physical and tangible parts of a computer. Pause your screens and answer the question. The answer to this question is option D, which says statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. Let's just see for statement 1. Statement 1 said operating system is a set of programs necessary to carry out certain functions which are there. It is not an operating system, mind you. Operating system is a program that after being initially loaded into the computer, which means that Windows, for example, if you have Windows is the operating system. It is helping your computer to operate. Hence, it is known as an operating system. Without an operating system, your PC, your laptop, your phones, they won't work. They will just be the devices which won't be having anything. The softwares will not be the ones which are there, correct? So it is a program which is already in there, manages all the functions or the application programs in a computer, right? So basically in an operating system, we can talk about the example of Windows, correct? If we talk about the desktop parts. On the other hand, if we talk about the phones part, we can say Android, correct? So this should have been here, instead of operating system, a set of programs necessary to carry out certain functions are known as a software and not operating system. So here it should have been software. A software is a set of program which is necessary to carry out operations for a specific application. For example, if we talk about the MS Excel. MS Excel is used to create spreadsheets, right? And also to do certain kind of mathematical functions. On the other hand, if we talk about MS Word is used to create certain kind of documents which are there. Notepad is also used to create certain documents and save them on the computer or wherever you want them to be stored, correct? So here the statement is incorrect because of the fact that it is a software which is a set of program for a specific purpose. Second statement is hardware represents the physical and tangible parts of the computer. So yes, hardware is something which can be touched. Software on the other hand cannot be touched. The applications cannot be touched by us because they are inbuilt in the computer system. If we talk about any hardware, for instance, this is a hardware, this is a stylus which is it. It can be touched. This is a monitor which can be touched, correct? Hardware is the most visible part of any information system. The equipment such as computers, scanners, printers, etc. All of them are the hardware which are there. The physical components which make up your computer includes the physical tangible parts or components of a computer such as the CPU that can be touched, of course, monitor, keyboard, computer data storage, right? For instance, we have pen drives. Those are also hardware, right? Because they can be touched, pen drives, correct? Graphic cards, sound cards, etc. By contrast, softwares are instructions that can be stored and run by hardware but cannot be touched, correct? So this is the basic differentiation between a hardware and a software, and there are different softwares as well. Software, we have application software, system software, we have driver software, programming software. Then we have another statement based question which says Wi-Fi, statement 1 says Wi-Fi has a shorter range than a Bluetooth, and statement 2 says Wi-Fi can transmit data at a faster rate than Bluetooth. The answer to this question is option D, which says that statement 1 is false whereas statement 2 is true. Let's just read the explanation here. First of all, Wi-Fi, the full form of Wi-Fi is wireless fidelity. I have asked this very question in one of the videos and I hope that you guys must have jotted it down somewhere because the question regarding this abbreviation has been asked in the UGC NET examination, correct? It is a wireless technology that allows computers, tablets, smartphones to connect over an internet connection. It is a radio signal transmitted from a wireless router to a nearby device. You have your computer, right? You have Wi-Fi installed in your homes. So without without any kind of wires, you are getting connected to the internet. That is what is Wi-Fi is, correct? The device sends a radio signal back to the router which is wired or cabled to the internet. Statement 1 says that Wi-Fi has a shorter range than Bluetooth. Wi-Fi, first of all, is not a shorter range than a Bluetooth because Bluetooth, if we have talked about in one of the previous videos, we have talked about the specifications of Bluetooth, correct? So Bluetooth can be used in a shorter range of, shorter distance. Wi-Fi can work even from different rooms, but Bluetooth cannot work from different rooms, right? So if you are connected to a Wi-Fi, you can be in your kitchen, you can be in your balcony. The Wi-Fi range that you will be connected to the internet, but the same won't be possible if we talk about the Bluetooth, correct? Wi-Fi operates on 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz frequencies and typically works for longer distances than Bluetooth. That's why statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2, Wi-Fi can transmit data at a faster rate than Bluetooth. Yes, of course, because you are connected to an internet through a modem, through a router, right? It has a maximum speed that is much faster than Bluetooth, at least 54 megabytes per second for Wi-Fi versus only 3 megabytes per second for Bluetooth. So you see 54 megabytes versus 3. So this one is lower, correct? If we talk about this one, that is Wi-Fi, that is faster. As a result, Bluetooth is typically used for transferring smaller chunks, right, of data such as the numerical values from IoT's center. So if you talk about sending each other, two different people are sending each other images which are, which are the smaller chunks of data with the smaller size. Those can be transmitted easily with the usage of Bluetooth. Of course, they can be transmitted through the use of Wi-Fi as well. Through the Wi-Fi, it will be transferred at a faster rate, correct? Hence, statement 2 is correct, right? So this is, students, what we had in today's lecture, in today's video, what we were supposed to do when it came to the ICT portion. We will be moving forward with certain more concepts in certain new video. Till then, keep on studying, keep on smiling. I will see you again. Thank you so much.